said that in a minute. Yeah. It's UNRAP, baby.
Attention, attention. This content may include explicit material. Viewer discretion is advised. The intention is not to offend, but to provide information. We are pushing the culture forward. Proceed only if you are comfortable with potentially sensitive topics and a good, decent, respectable amount of cussing.
Cursing?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cussing or cursing?
Cursing, profanity.
Like what?
All that shit.
Like what?
A busload of bitches, a bucket full of hoes, a couple of motherfuckers here and there.
Motherfuck you, damn shit.
Nah, you took the words right out of my mouth. It's UNRAP, baby. It's UNRAP, baby. And we back at it like crack addicts. You already know what it is, man.
Yes, sir.
You already know what it is. And I am the host with the most. Probably a cold ass motherfucker, I might add.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be patting myself on the back and nothing like that. You know, there's haters out there, you know what I'm saying? I'm feeling real isms tonight, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
But yeah. I'm just gonna say it. I'm him.
It's the end of the month, you know what
I'm him. Yeah, I'm him. And it's Valentine's Day coming up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I am heat detected, like I said, and to my immediate left is the illustrious Dina Ashvino in the goddamn building. See that?
Thank you.
Look at that.
All right.
Look at that. Look at the fanfare.
I'm not mad at that.
Look at the fanfare. And then we got the engineer.
Woo.
What's cracking, y'all? I want to say something real quick.
You might want to turn your mic on.
It is on.
Okay.
It's on.
You got your bedroom talking right now, though.
I just want to say rest in peace to Too Short brother who was murdered.
Oh yeah,
East Oakland, man. We got to put these guns down, man, and stop being stupid, man. For real.
Those are good words, brother. Good words. Yeah, yeah. I don't even know where to. Man, that threw me off. I was about to say some wild shit. Can't say no wild shit right after that, but we back in the building. We missed you last week. We were both gone.
Yeah.
We were both gone last week.
But I mean, I feel like the youngins held it down.
I feel like they did what they did, but they were not UNRAP.
But I
you know what I'm saying?
I laughed several times.
Yeah, because they're funny.
They are.
They're funny, but they're not UNRAP.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but what we learned is that they can hold a show by themselves for sure.
Yes. Yeah. We both get kidnapped.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
There you go. They can handle that shit. But we are back in the building once again. It's UNRAP, baby. Y'all already know. And you know, there's a lot of shit going on out there in the world.
25 is 25 and
25 is 25 and like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other day, 25 almost had me in a chokehold. Like I had to, you know what I'm saying? I had to scramble up out that shit. It's too early in the goddamn year to try to choke a motherfucker out.
It is the last day of the first motherfucking month.
Come on now.
And we already like, shit.
But over here, you know what we gonna do. We gonna muscle through it. We're gonna have a great time muscling through it.
Yeah.
Was that a no Diddy moment? No, muscling through it.
No. I guess now since you said it, I guess you probably could if you was reaching, but yeah.
You
damn
near Diddy anything right about
yeah.
now.
If you was reaching, that's fucked up.
Been reaching just a little
Reaching,
bit.
you can muscle through.
Right. There's a Diddy moment right there.
Yeah.
Speaking of Diddy, we got Akadiddy going on.
Yeah.
You know, we touched on that just for a second.
Hollywood's turning to Hollyweird, man.
But
It's always been Hollywood.
I definitely said like 2 years ago, I thought that nigga was weirdo. He just give me that, you know, that vibe.
Well,
And I feel like somebody should have told him, just don't say shit, bro. Just
shit, Shorty was telling him, like, calm down, dude. I'm only 15.
But like his explanation about him being Jamaican, like, which I guess that was supposed to absolve whatever had happened.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know. Like,
what am I gonna say? Like, so I do something like, hey, I'm Puerto Rican, so
right, like,
I get a pass, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know.
No, that's some strange shit.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And the crazy part is, it wasn't only him. It was Tory Lane's manager was with him.
I don't even don't know what that means either. Shout out to them for doing whatever they
right, what like doing. That's what you got going on, and that's what you got going on.
If you're dealing with that type shit, then you deal with that type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me personally, don't indulge, but you know, I want to say more power to him, I guess.
Because it's a big ass blank stare with a question mark. Like, what the fuck? Like,
what was he doing?
Like, yes, what was your motivation?
Well, we know what that's called grooming.
Yeah.
But that's
and we ain't talking about combing
up.
your hair. We ain't talking about combing your hair or shaving or you know, anything like that. No, that's called grooming.
But what do you call a person that streams, that knows about, you know, obviously the information age, the access, everything is accessible, it's recorded, you know what I'm saying, it's documented, doing some stupid shit like that?
I don't know.
You think he just slipped up, or he just really didn't give a fuck?
I don't know.
He didn't give a fuck.
I think sometimes people forget. You know what I'm saying? That like if you caught up in your own world, you tend to forget things. You tend to forget there's some outside shit going on outside of the shit that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're sitting in the basement all the time, you just might forget that there are millions of cameras on you. There's millions of people recording. And if you are talking to somebody online, the likelihood of them recording you is pretty fucking high nowadays. Yeah. Especially if you're online or internet celebrity or anything of that nature. Yeah. You gotta be better than that.
Yeah.
I was asked before what I thought like about the things that I say on the show and shit like that. Like, man, fuck that. I'm standing 10 toes down on everything that I say. You can't, like something like that with him, and not to get too deep into it or anything, because I don't know. All of this shit is allegations about the grooming, I guess. But the fact is, he said that shit.
He said it.
That's the fact. Yeah. And so, like, my whole thoughts on that are like, when I was asked, are you worried about anything that you say or anything that you do online? And my whole thought on that is no. I'm very aware of what I say, and I stand on whatever in the hell it is that I say, period. So if I say fuck Ice Cube, then yeah, it's fuck Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And if we run into each other, you already know what that's going to be like. So I have no qualms with any of that whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So I do what I do. I say what I say. And he should have known better. Fact is, my brother, you are on camera. You're constantly recording. You're constantly doing these things. You should have known. Period. Like, imagine I'm online and I'm talking to a minor. Not gonna happen. But I have to know that even if I'm talking to that child, if we're on Twitch, we're on whatever, somebody somewhere is gonna look, and especially if you're an internet personality, they're gonna look and say, "Oh shit, is that fucking Academics, or is that Heat Detector? Is that Nashvino?" Click. Let me record this shit. This motherfucker might say something stupid. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And unfortunately for him, he said some stupid shit.
Then it was like watching it also made me uncomfortable because Shorty was clearly like, "No, bro." Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like trying to be cool about it. You know what I'm saying? And like slide past the shit. Like, how about we just stop talking about this shit? Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's called grooming.
But still, like,
allegedly.
Right, so you know, in that regard, you're gonna push the boundary. You're gonna see just how far you can push the boundaries.
Right.
And if you push it far enough, then you know, okay, good candidate.
That's called grooming.
Let's proceed.
Yeah, it's called grooming.
That shit is crazy to me. Like, but, I can't.
Shout out to Academics. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, not shout out to him like I'm applauding anything that he did, but shout out to him. That's his world.
Yeah.
Got shit to do with mine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? God help him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. Yeah, he'll be fine. He's got money. He's got bread. He's already got to the bag. He'll be fine. Like in that regard, I don't know if, you know, his public persona, what that's going to look like or feel like, but that's his problem.
Yeah.
Not mine.
Like you said earlier, I'm pretty sure somebody will pick him up and, you know, if he chooses to proceed, you know what I'm saying? He'll find a home somewhere.
Or he'll make his own.
Yeah.
Got enough money, make your own. Make your own social media platform and push it out, you know, push your content out. It is what it is. But with all that being said, that's all great, fine, dandy, and all that shit. But tonight, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Now, come on now. We've been doing this too long for you not to know. Shout out Ace Vito.
Ace Vito.
What did he say? He said Academics was Meal prepping.
He was meal prepping.
Damn, that's crazy.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Meal prepping is bananas.
Meal prepping is crazy work.
Wow.
That's
crazy
fucking
work.
crazy.
Yeah. But
Oh shit.
let's get back to what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
So it's some sort of version of like, highly excited.
That's the best you got?
That's all I got.
I'm ecstatic. I'm in my mode.
It start with an E.
Ecstatic. Yeah. Don't ask me. I have a lot of words, but I can't spell for shit. So, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of $10 words, $5 words. If I need to use 25-cent words with you, I will. But tonight, nah. I'm ecstatic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm there. I'm in the moment. I'm blooming inside right now. I'm blooming inside right now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Is that equivalent to feeling delicious?
Nah, bro. I don't know. Keep that act talk. Keep that act talk away from
like
me.
you bloom inside, you're delicious outside.
No.
No.
That is not
Okay.
where I was going with it. That was
I got
not where I was headed, and most definitely not what I was thinking.
All right. I got you.
No. I just have a lot of energy right now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like we really hitting a stride right now with the shows and everything with the channel. So like, yeah, blooming,
Elated,
elated,
feeling magical. I stopped saying magical for a whole week.
And what does that feel like?
I don't like it, and I just said it, and I feel.
Yeah, never mind.
I feel good.
So, anyways, we have.
Goddamn.
You forgot? You forgot? Yeah. Let's not start. We have guests in the building tonight.
Oh, shit.
So, because we were talking about me, so let's keep that focus.
Because
Yes,
it's your platform.
You already
and
know.
It's all
you
about
already
you.
know.
Absolutely.
You already know. So I'm ecstatic. I'm elated. I'm blooming. I'm doing all of that. How you feeling?
I'm fine.
Never mind. Never mind. Now you feeling good? You feeling good about this? Did you do any homework? Did you figure some shit out? Did you?
I did.
Did you dibble and dabble?
I observed. I peeked behind the curtain a bit.
Peek behind the curtain. All right. Well, we got somebody kind of special in this goddamn building tonight.
Kind of special.
Kind of special.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of special in the building tonight. Producer. Been in the game for a hot ass minute. Maybe longer than me. I don't know. We're going to find out tonight, though. I said that like there's some shit going on, huh? We're going to find out. Like it's Dateline or some shit.
Yeah, that definitely was very 2020.
Definitely not. But in the building tonight, we have Uncle John the goddamn third in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My man. Have a seat.
Welcome.
Yo, I'm in the building.
There he is. You see it.
Yeah.
Live and in flesh.
Chicago.
Chicago representative.
Yeah.
In the building.
Southside to be exact.
Southside to be exact. Yeah. I'm not going to put our addy or nothing out there, but
Please
we're
don't.
pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We might be in the vicinity, some shit like that.
You heard?
Yeah. So before we even get started, man, there might be people that live under a rock or maybe in a cave in Afghanistan or some shit, and they don't know.
Yeah.
They're walking around with dirty ass titty dust and don't know. But tell the people who you are, where you from. We already said that, but you can elaborate more if you want to.
Uncle John the Third, known to many as Doe from the Go. The difference in my rebrand and my emergence is I'm focused right now strictly on the music production and pushing the culture from a musical standpoint and not an executive standpoint or a marketing standpoint or a management standpoint. Right now, the focus is producing, and I'm here to resurge and come in even harder. Pause.
That was a Diddy moment.
Yeah. Versus like, what I was known for to many, which is like pretty much handling business for a lot of artists and working with major artists, etc. Right now, that's not about politics. It's not about like, industry bullshit. It's just about the music and like, running the underground.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Which leads me to my a question I thought I was going to get to later, but perfect timing. What do you think and where do you think, it's kind of two parts, where do you think And what do you think, and where do you think the culture kind of went wrong and took a left turn, so to speak?
It was some of the wrong people involved.
Right.
You know, when I say the wrong people, meaning people who don't represent us, in a sense of just people we can relate to.
Right.
But the reason why those individuals got involved was because they had access to, things that we didn't have access to. When I say we, the black culture of rap or hip hop music, which is cultural and bigger opportunities from a advertising and marketing standpoint. You know, you have to go into business with people who have access to. It's not even about the cash, because people got to understand, when you think money, it's like it's really the credit line. It's not about cash. You know, credit is more than cash. So if somebody just has access to 70 million. People think 70 million. They forget that you can have 70 million in credit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I say that to just say, like, the opportunities existed to run overheads and have bigger budgets to do things, etc. And you know, some of the people got into the business who wasn't about the culture.
Right.
And they even split up some of the most renowned labels and people that we were inspired by, you know, as far as, you know, I won't say no names, but you know what I'm speaking on, as far as some of these black labels, etc. You know, we saw these CEOs break up, you know, based on, you know, mumbo jumbo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
And you think that was like, because I ask these questions not only for the audience, but like even myself. I think about these things all the time. I've been doing music for a very long time, and I've seen all these different phases, but like this last, I want to say 10, 15 years, it's just kind of like, man, this shit is, it's recognizable because it's all cookie cutter shit.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's almost unrecognizable. You know what I'm saying? And and like sitting back thinking about, like, where did it take the turn? How in the fuck did it even get to this point to where it's unrecognizable to a person like myself?
Well, it wanted to go bigger. You know, hip hop was always made to be the number one genre of music. I mean, for us to say that it actually is the number one genre is like, we couldn't see that in the 80s. You know, we just saw that as we at the bottom of the barrel, and we're just doing what we do. You know, while rock and pop is like out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like world tour. You know, you got to think Phil Collins. Rolling Stones, and all of them, Fred Mercury, and all of them, they were playing like crazy amount of stadiums.
Right.
But to see rap do that, that takes being in bed with certain individuals.
Right.
You know, because they have the access to those type of venues and to those type of crowds.
Right.
And it's like you make a choice. You say, you know, do I want to play in front of 60, 70, 80,000, or do I want to play in for my whole entire life in front of 6,000 or 600 or whatever.
600 or 300.
You know, yeah, so I think, like I said, the certain people got involved that wasn't a part of the culture, and they had access to things that, you know, we didn't have access to. And, you know, it just kind of made things, you know, but shout out to some of them, you know, people who took risks, like Steve from Loud Records, and, you know, who really, you know, some of those guys really gave us, they took the risk on certain artists that we needed in the culture. So shout out to some of those guys. But then some of them, you know, that some of them did the wrong things as far as, you know, break up, you know, some reputable brands and labels and stuff, you know, just based on like negativity and he say,
greed.
She say and stuff. Yeah, greed.
Greed is one of them. Gatekeeping is
gatekeeping for sure.
Gatekeeping is huge.
Yeah, gatekeeping for sure. Yeah.
And why do you think that, like, even with, do you think that's like a learned, I want to say learned behavior, but it's like, you know, some people, when they get into hip hop, as far as the business aspect of it, and we get a little bit of notoriety or fame or money, that they begin to really, really gatekeep.
I think you can argue that people in executive spots are groomed themselves. Like, if I'm gonna give you this position of power and let you have this access, I need you to work my agenda. So
exactly,
you know,
exactly. I worked at the labels. You know what I mean? So there's things I had to do to make a certain individual look good.
Right.
And then he had to bring that back to his higher ups, and that's how that goes. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, but it's like a trickle down effect. It's a trickle word Biggie used and Who Shot You, but you know what I mean by that? Like, it's gatekeeping is basically, I got the relationship, you don't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know him. You don't. You will never be around him. I know him. This is my man.
Yeah.
I know him.
And
You don't know him.
And I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure he stay my man and you stay over there.
You get what I'm saying? And I learned that like early in the politics of producing, which is why I took a pause. You know, when I was producing under the name John Doe, like 20 years back, I was getting the beats to Joel Santana or Cameron, but then it would be the nigga who wants to be here in the middle, who don't want to bring me to the studio session. He wants to go in with the CD instead. Right.
Yeah.
So my beats are hot, but he want to go in with the CD. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to bring John Doe with him into the session. He want to come. You know, you get what I'm saying? So, and I had to learn that too. Like I couldn't even take it nowhere because I understood what that was. He had the relationship.
Could we pause just and talk about that? So you being the person who this your art, this your work, and did you feel like, well, fuck, it's an opportunity. I just gotta like, what's it feel like in the space?
No, I never ever like made decisions solely based on like being thirsty or being a bloodsucker. However I had to get it, if it took 15, 20 years for me to get my own relationship, I just grinded it out. But that was like one of those, I needed to learn how that went. You see what I'm saying? Because I did it to plenty of A&Rs where I might have sent them some music and then they sent me back a contract for consulting before they even play it for Cam. They like, okay, sign this, pay me this much, and I'll guarantee to get you a placement in 6 months' time. But then he didn't ran up $3,000 out of my pocket before he get me to play. You know, you learn the business as you go, and so I needed all of those lessons. Actually, all of those lessons build you into who you are. Yeah. Right. So you gotta be thankful for the lessons because you gotta use them. You know, like chess pieces. You know what I mean? But never make the quick. I never made quick decisions just to get a placement or a check. Like it had to make sense. You know, if I did anything. So
did all of that ever cut into like your creative like mojo? Like,
yeah, I mean, eventually I started to drift off into the marketing end and A&R end and business end because I started to make bigger moves doing that. Like it was so much politics with being a producer around 03, 04, 05.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like because it wasn't. You got to realize it wasn't a lot of Fruity Loop producers, and it was like it was probably like 10 guys in the city around then, from SC to Herb Brasco up until myself, who had like citywide buzzers. But like you can go to a Detroit and you might find Dilla and you might find a few people there, and then you might go to New York and they'll have their 10 producers, right? But it wasn't a bunch of people producing. You know what I'm saying? So you could still get on around then. I mean, locally I was getting $5,000 for a beat. You get what I'm saying? So that just came from like trying to build my name and build my buzz, etc. But when I tried to play the game in the industry, it was a lot of either red tape or like doors. And so I had to learn how that went too. You know, as far as opportunities, you know, when somebody say they can get your Rihanna placement, they're going to want a lot of the publishing. They're going to probably want some of the credit but they're going to make it happen. Right. And that's how that goes. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, when you see these people and, you know, they got a big hit record or something, they had to give up something for that. You know what I mean? And that's business. You know what I'm saying? But they took the choice of giving up whatever they gave up for that. You get what I'm saying? Or you can just grind it out, get your own relationships, and do your own thing. So that way you don't have to worry about, you know, going through that or feeling like you're hung on the string or whatever, you know.
But that grind right there, it takes a hell of a lot longer as well.
Yeah, I was with it though, because whatever it took, like all resilience. I slept in cars I was in abandoned buildings, pulling the carpet as a sheet. You know, I whatever it took, I washed my ass in studio bathrooms. I'd like look and make sure nobody there, lock the door, go wash up, and come out fresh. Nobody would even know I was homeless. Right. You know, all of that. You know, whatever it took to really do it my way, I was down to do it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
See, yeah. That's what we do over here. You see, we talk to these artists, we talk to people, and what we get in that process is gems.
Yeah.
All the fucking time. That's why I tell everybody, when you watch this show, if you don't catch it, rewind that shit back, because gems will be dropped. All you gotta do is pay attention. You know, we're not just sitting here talking crazy for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to FX Radio Network in the building. Shadow Master. Shout out Shadow Master in the building.
What up?
Mateo, G.O.D. Shit, everybody that's in the building right now, salute to y'all. Hit that like, subscribe, and everything like that. And if you're watching this shit on Facebook, walk your ass across the street.
Please.
And like and subscribe to YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So being from Chicago, when our scene here, Like when once you become part of it, you realize like there's so many creatives, but not only that, just everybody's got something different. Like there's so much here. But we always like to ask, what do you think it is about here that people take so much from us and we just let it happen?
It's not about us letting it happen. It's what we're in control of when it comes to resource, right?
Right.
So, cause we might have the talent, the swag, we might made up the word thought, we might have did so much and created so many lanes and drilled and all the whatever we created, all of that is getting taken from us, but we don't have the resources to control who has access to that, who can do, not who has access to it, but who can do what with it. You know what I'm saying? If a person get a deal, right, with a major label, when they take Chief Keef swag, they got a major label backing them with Chief Keef swag. You see what I'm saying? So now
insulated.
So so at that point, it's like you all you can do is just be like, damn, that's how that go. Yeah, that's how it go. And I mean,
happens all the time.
Yeah, and it's clear that we're influential on the culture. I think that that doesn't mean we benefit from that. That just means we're influential on the culture.
Right.
But it changes when we benefit from it, meaning like we know that whoever created what from here, they able to feed their kids or feed their families, etc. And then there's a better network going around as far as like not even just monetary, just opportunity. You know what I mean? There are bigger opportunities for a lot of the people that create and influence others. Then it'll be an all right situation. We just have to. I always say we shouldn't use the language of what we have to do. We just got to do it. Versus be like, why don't we come together and all that? We don't even use the language. Just make a move and just do something for the city and just contribute.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And keep that going.
Yeah.
FX Radio Network says, man, I was on SoundCloud today, and every Chicago artist I came across, nothing but fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even that. We got designers, we got artists, we have podcasters, we got a lot of energy here. Not just music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Big facts on that. Like that's something I learned when I moved out here. I've been here since 2005.
Yeah.
And the city is just the amount of creativity and the art.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's I've never been anywhere like this.
Yeah, fashion designers.
I lived in New York. I lived in Cali, LA, Oakland, but Chicago hits different.
It's an energy.
Yeah.
It's a certain energy. And every 10 years it changes. Like every 10 years it's changing. Every 10 years. So
100%. And I think a person would be hard pressed to find, as far as art and culture, something wrong with it here in the city, or that it's lacking, that.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Yeah.
What do you think that the because there's like almost a glass ceiling in this fucking city though at the same time, you know what I mean? Because I come across myself personally from producing so many like artists where I'm just sitting back going, what the fuck did I just hear?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From a musical standpoint, from the musicality, if it's the writing, the wordplay, everything, it's like, oh shit, what the fuck? How come no one's heard this? You know what I mean? What do you think that
well, everybody's
glass ceiling is?
Everybody's hustle is different.
Right.
There's some people who lack what's the word I want to use? They lack
wherewithal,
that or aggressiveness. Some of us literally wake up and go get it, and then some of us are afraid. And even the ones who are afraid, there's no blame to them. It's just this that some of us just have it. Well, we just hustle harder based on what our situation is, what our overhead is.
Right.
We all hustle for different things, and then a lot of us really hustle to be successful, and they know that the success will take care of them.
Right.
The ones who are afraid, it just comes from a place of depression or anxiety. Sometimes when you overthink, you got a little bit of you that just question your ability, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then you got the other half who just even if you're confident and cocky alone, that's what gets the job done. Now you got to overcome that and actually get out here and show motherfuckers you got it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's just levels of hustle. I think some, the ones who went to New York got deals, LA, overseas, whatever. Or, you got to realize when you look at our city, we all have a situation that we're eating from elsewhere, right?
Right.
You got Amaris, he might be Chief Keef's DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you got Reese, who might be Dirk's DJ. And you got me, I'm over at Def Jam. And you got John went out with Kanye. We all got a situation that's
Right.
feeding us, but it ain't Chicago bound. It's like we had to
Right,
go
right,
and
right.
we had to go make a move to get the opportunity. You
Right.
get what I'm trying to say? So
yeah.
a lot of us hustle that way. Then a lot of us be like, I'm building this shit right here at the crib, like leaders or whoever. You know what I mean? Some people like build their own thing and have
Right.
their own, notoriety, etc. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
We
just
understand
levels.
that,
It's levels
yeah,
to the
yeah.
hustle.
Understand that shit 100% because that's what the fuck we're doing here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying on Unwrap.
Yeah.
The whole thought behind it and everything is that if you fuck with the city, you got to come and see us.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Do you
And-
think our ecosystem could like sustain like a major situation coming? Do you think it would translate the way it does at other places?
I think somebody that has access to what we don't have to is just afraid to take the risk because you got to
Right.
understand Chicago can have labels and we can have corporate structures, etc. We just need to always have access to things that'll keep it running. You know what I mean? Not just the talent, not just the know-how. The overhead and the lanes of what to do and when to do it. You know what I'm saying? This is a major city. You can set up a label anywhere. As long as the
Yeah.
overhead's there, you can really run a successful label. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on who's involved and where the minds are and et cetera, et cetera. So I think it could be done. It just takes a village. Even if the village is of 5 people, those 5 people probably possess something that can create it and make it, do what it do.
Make it do
So,
what it do.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what the fuck.
I be thinking
know what I
about
mean?
that a lot because you see people have come and they've set up the market elsewhere with the drill scene, and then they've kind of transplanted them other places. But it's like a lot of them are in really predatory situations. It's like, okay, you sign this low key. I got the life insurance because maybe
That's
it's
a fact.
inevitable.
That's a
You know what I'm
fact.
saying? So whether you give me the money off your art, or I get the money on the back end because you passed away, you know what I'm saying? Or you're unalive.
This is true.
Like it be them things that made me think about that. Like if it was somebody else at the crib that had a situation, would these people be treated that way?
Honestly, I just feel like it could go both ways. When I say both ways, meaning like the opportunity, it starts with you because it's what you want. People look at Chance and say, well, he can't save the world. Chance is gonna have his opportunities and he gonna do what he do. He gonna put on who he feels like he putting on, but he gonna rep the crib, and that's really where it starts. That's what's important. That it's still
Right,
that the spotlight is getting put on our city, and that we have someone like him who represents our city. Even if he goes on to do great things and never signs to a label, that was awesome to see him do. Never to lie in bed with corporate America just so he can be a star. He showed you can do it without even
Right.
having to sign to a label. You can still like do your thing and be the man and do what you need to do.
Yeah, shout out to Fambo podcast in the building as well. Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts when you really stop and think about all of this kind of stuff, and these are the things that I talk to people about, and a lot of times people don't get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I don't know if it's because of their lack of experience or
that. And I always tell people. Someone asked me. I met him the other day. He said, "What do you think I should be doing, man, if I wanted to get in this game?" I said, "Study it for a year or two. Just study it. Like, just do a lot of data entry into yourself, so that way you can have information. Like I was saying, maybe that person was uninformed. Maybe the lack thereof. Maybe they don't. So, people who really want to be a part of the culture, they're gonna really study the culture and feel and fill a void of how can I contribute to the culture and how can I be something special for the culture.
right.
Everybody want to be carbon copies, and that doesn't make you special. That's why Tribe was Tribe, and De La was De La. There was definitely there were 3 people and there was something about the 2 different about the 2, right? So that's what I mean. Like you can only have one Keith, and you can only have one Dirk, and you can only have one. You can't have like 7 of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta you do the genre, but do it how you do it. Don't do it how he do it. It's a genre. So okay, we all do this shit, but it's when you chop a sample and you loop it, it's just how you did it. Okay, you do it, but I do it like this. You do it like you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, you get it, but
Yeah.
I'm giving the people,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
and
saying, that energy.
Again, back to the gyms. It's
Yeah.
gyms. You know what I'm saying? We say it. I say a lot of this shit on the show all the time. I say it to artists when they come in because we interview a lot of up and coming artists. We interview, some people that have already been in the industry and understand the industry. But it's important. I really feel like it's important for these things to be said and to be understood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people come in and they fly in blind and they come in hot and they don't understand what the fuck they're even doing or why they're even doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny for me to sit back and watch the shit and I'm just like, I told that motherfucker. You know what I mean? He wasn't listening, but you don't understand. You know what I mean?
That's a fact.
And that's why I love it when a person like yourself comes in, an artist like yourself, producer, A&R, all of that. You're sitting down, we're having a great conversation, but you dropping straight gems. If a motherfucker want to listen, if they really take heed, they're gonna hear some shit that may spark some shit that may be like, oh shit, that's what I was like.
Which I don't mind doing because I understand, like I understand this. So some information is good than no information,
Right.
But imagine if a person was to lock in with me personally.
Right.
You would get a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? So, you just gotta be appreciative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is key, being appreciative. You know what I mean? Let me ask you, when you got into the culture or hip hop or whatever you want to call it, because I always ask everybody, what was your first like real memory where you got into or heard and you said, "Fuck, I like this shit"?
So, as a kid, my mom, we would wait for her to leave and go out with her girlfriends, me and my sister Bridget. So when she left, she always had a pile of records at the crib.
Don't touch them.
The Don't Touch Them records.
Yeah.
And I was always like just curious as to what's in the pile. And this is I'm like 6, 7.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So she'll leave the crib and then I'll find these records and then that's when I will just hip and educate myself to artists.
Right.
As a 6, 7-year-old kid. So I'm finding Prince Under the Cherry Moon. I'm finding you know what I'm saying? I'm finding Billie Jean, all that. And then I found an NWA record.
Oh.
She had it at the bottom. Now this is the one where they had like 9 of them niggas on the cover. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, y'all remember the posse joint?
Yeah.
So, me and my sister put that on. It looked different than everything else. You got Luther and Teddy and all this shit, but these niggas look different. These niggas got on big ass clocks and the nigga got a jerry curl.
Yeah.
We want to know what this shit sound like. We put it on, Dope Man Come On, and it was like, it hit me because I'm like, damn, rap is this explicit. They have rap that's this explicit.
Right.
I'm used to like LL, I Need Love, and as a kid, Who Diddy, One Love and shit. Then you hear Dope Man, bitch, go ever. You know what I mean? So that was like my introduction into the culture fully because I'm one-sided at that point with rap. I only knew like what I grew up on, Run DMC, etc. And then here comes NWA, and they gave me a full glimpse of both sides of rap music. Right. So from there, I just became like a fan and was embedded into it and invested into it. Right. First 3 cassettes I bought was 100 Miles and Running. It was a tape with, it was Ghetto Boys, but it had like 4 mug shots. I don't know if you remember that one.
I remember that.
Yeah. I bought that, and then the third tape was
that was actually before the one Bush with Bill, I believe.
Bill was on there. He was one of the most before he got shot in the eye. Yeah, that was. And then I bought 2 short dogs in the house.
Come on, man.
Those 3.
I told you I felt isms.
Yeah, those 3. And I'm talking about at this point. I'm a 10-year-old kid. Ice Cube had dropped America's Most Wanted, but that was a gift to me. Someone gave me that tape. So that wasn't what I purchased, but I had it. I had the America's Most Wanted tape. Like, these are the introduction and for real for me into hip hop. Like, and this is what made me like a lover of hip hop to the culture. And from there, I just like grew up fully on everything you can possibly name in the 90s or the 2000s, etc.
When did you feel like you were gonna do music? Or
mid 90s. 14 maybe. I used to try to go and do beats and make my own mixtapes and stuff on my own. But it was when I met my sister's then boyfriend. He was on some psychedelic rap shit. So he would come over and he looked like Jimi Hendrix, but a hip hop version. He'd have like he'd have like fucking rips in his jeans. He'd be wearing flannels and fucking sandals and shit. And so
Shout out to him.
the nigga had a look about him, right? So he was like, he felt like I had an energy about me musically. So he was like, you rap or something? I'm like, no, I be trying to do beats and shit. The nigga had access to a then 32 track studio.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? 32 track studio in 94, right? So we go and then they got the board and they got the reel-to-reels and shit, and he just gave me experience of what being in a real studio environment felt like at first before he let me start doing my thing. So I would go with like sessions with him, and then I would learn, you know, DATs and everything. I would learn the analog style of producing, etc. And then from there, he let me do my thing. I used to bring in loops and I used to loop things, and he used to let me just rap and do my own thing. He was developing me to decide if I really wanted to get into this business. And that's when I pretty much started at 15, 16. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And then, you know, from there, it was just, you know, me being a fly on the wall at times. I would go in rooms and just act like I didn't know nothing and just, you know, observe people and just, you know, figure it all out.
Right.
And then, you know, hip hop and culture has always been a thing of mine. Fashion, art, I've always been to all three. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
I say that a lot on this show, and even when talking to people, I remember a time when you did get the opportunity to go into a studio, it might be months before they even let you touch anything.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then when they did, like your job was really to sit there and listen, learn, and when they told you, hey, go do that shit.
Facts.
And that's your time. And if you didn't learn shit when you were sitting up in there, then you're fucked.
Yeah,
man.
You
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are the times for sure.
Yeah. And I remember those times, and I talk about those times because a lot of that shit was lost, I think, you know, within hip hop especially. Because like even now when I talk to MCs, rappers, whatever, everybody's like, send me a beat pack. Man, I ain't sending you no fucking beat pack.
Exactly.
Y'all don't do that shit.
Exactly.
What I prefer to sit down with a motherfucker, talk to a motherfucker.
That's how we do.
Understand who they are. Then I can build something around who they are as a person or what I feel like their vibe is with me.
Yeah,
you know
you got to build with the artist.
Yeah,
I tell the people all the time, build with the artist. Yeah.
Y'all hear that shit?
Yeah.
Understand that shit. Because you ask me for a beat pack, you ain't getting a goddamn thing.
No, and that's not, I think it's no disrespect. I think it's just, it's more common that beat packs are sent out.
Yeah.
But they respect it.
Yeah.
When you explain that why you don't, you know, not saying that you even have to explain it, but you gotta sometimes you gotta expose to artists how they need to be locking in with a producer versus
say that shit.
You know.
Yeah.
And at least it'll give them the knowledge of, okay, maybe I should lock in with a producer and just create a sound. You know what I'm saying?
That's the key, because there is a lane for everybody if they understand what it is they're doing and understand where they want to go with it. Mm-hmm. There's a lane for everybody, and I tell a lot of MCs and even producers, there is enough money to make a career out of it. Where you'll never be a Jay-Z, my guy, but you'll be a guy who can make a living. I said this all the time. Even 1,000 fans. I know that sounds crazy. 1,000 fans can feed you, like 1,000 fans. Think about that for a second. That means a fan is going to purchase everything you have for sale. Facts. A fan is going to support you in all times of need, et cetera, et cetera. So if you think 1,000 times anything that you're applying to that, that's enough to feed you and your family. Yeah. But if you got 10,000, or then if you got 100,000, you got to think with currency. Yeah. I'm using him for example. He got at least 100,000 fans. At least 100,000 fans. Currency does. Mm-hmm. So you times that to everything he got going on. His new merch is crazy, by the way. You times that by everything he got going on, he gonna be set straight. Yeah. And that's gonna be a meal or two involved, maybe 3 or 4, because 100,000 is a set amount of fans that's gonna support that man.
And that's that different kind of hustle you was talking about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maintaining that fan base. Yeah. To go back to what both of y'all was talking about the difference between vibing out with a producer and then, you know, accepting the beat packs. When they're like breaking a new artist, so you're fresh, you're green. Like, would they even really give you the opportunity to do that, or is it somebody walking up to you like, look, I found these beats, I think these fit you, figure it out? All artists are different. You know, you got artists who are wrapped in their ego. You got artists who are humble.
and we'll conduct business with you or conduct vibes with you, however you choose to conduct. And then you have artists who are oblivious and they don't even know how to approach you or how to ask for a beat or ask how they can get production. So you'll deal with 3 or more different types of artists. I've had artists ask me for beat packs, and I'm just have to explain to them. I'm not a beat pack type of guy. Now, if you're an artist of mine, then I'll in the iPhone you can dump music into notes. I'll do that and share note with you if you're an artist that I'm already locked in with, but I'm not sending out beat packs like some beat pack ass nigga. That's just not that's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? And this is where I drop a lot of instrumental albums anyway. I mean, if you want to hear, any of my catalog, it's already up. Right. And this is the same thing, pages I followed and took out of Madlib and Dilla's book. Making sure that, you die empty, give it all out, make sure all the music's out. But when you do that, you do it where you already set it up and in case anything happens, you know what I'm saying? So
listening to some of your stuff that's out there, like the instrumentals that was able to find, like it's very like, it's like a symphony almost. Word. It's different. It's like, it's like a different kind of vibe. I don't really know how to really describe it.
Right.
Like it was one, forgive me because I don't know names because it was kind of a rabbit hole.
Yeah, for sure.
The visual is like a still, but it's like a green car in front of a house.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
That shit had me in a chokehold.
Yeah, people be rabbit hole and shit. That's why I do what I do online. I'll put some stuff out, add no promotion to it, just so people can go find it. It might be something with 35 views, but it might be a special one. Right. And I do that on purpose. And then I got stuff that I'll run ads on, whatever, and there'll be more views than that. And I'll have people tell me about it. Like, I found this beat, and they'll show me, and I'll be like, man, that beat, I just threw that up on some. You get what I'm saying? So I can appreciate that, for sure.
Do you allow people to use those beats?
Yeah, absolutely. All you gotta do, if you're gonna use anything, just contact me. Let me hit a record, and then we can put it out officially. You know what I'm saying? Because I will not deny a hot song. You know what I'm saying? If it's a hot song, we're gonna immediately go into business.
You see
you know what I'm saying?
Y'all hear that?
Like, because it's coming out. Like, if I like it, pause. If I like it, I'm dropping it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Officially. You know what I'm saying? That means ISRC codes, lyrics on Genius, really publish it, sound exchange it, BDS it, all those good things. You know what I'm saying?
All the important things.
Yeah, all the important things. It's gonna really be in the system.
Like sending beats out because they don't what type of rapper that is yet.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
Because it ain't. I don't make beats catered to rappers who want a sound. I give them the sound. So it's like right now we're hearing 2 Chainz on an Alchemist beat. We never thought we would hear that. So it's all about my sound. So if you want this sound, I'm gonna give you this sound. I'm not gonna do a sound that caters around you. You're in my world. Right. So you finna come over here where I am, and you finna do what I do.
Lock in.
You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get locked in. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah.
And that's the difference between a Snoop Rhythm and Gangsta album and a Snoop Doggy Style album.
Right.
That album sounds like that. Doggy Style sounds like that. You know what I'm saying?
E. Johnson. I met excuse me, sir. I met Bushwick Bill. He was cool. In a weed spot.
Yeah, he is. He was. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A lot of people got Bushwick Bill out west stories.
No, I got stories too, man. He was about to fight my homie, man. They got into a big argument. It was funny, man. We was laughing so hard. They was arguing over something petty. It was crazy in Atlanta. It was crazy, man. All we could do was all laugh because Bill chased him around the kitchen, and he was chasing him to antagonize him, just on some antagonizing. You know what I mean? And he was trying to get his word across to him, and we was just laughing so hard. So that was a good moment that I can remember of Bill.
Rest in peace, Bushwick Bill. Yeah, let me ask you, since we're on this producer thing, when did you consider yourself a producer? When did you consider yourself a beat maker and then transition into producer? Because a lot of people don't know there's a difference. Because a lot of motherfuckers.
You could make a lot of beats. I was making a lot of beats for a while, for a long time, and then I was locking in with artists who were constructing records around the beats, which gave me ability to arrange.
Right.
It's like once an artist lays the hook, then it's like, okay, well, I want to take the drums out here, and then we'll put the hook like that with no drums, and then we'll bring the drums in when you start rapping. Mm-hmm. Now you're arranging a record.
Right.
So I think, it took maybe 10 years up until I got to that point, but those first 10 years was just making beats and just
Right.
you know, just making beats and just happy to be making beats and stuff.
Right.
You know, then you go into the producer mode when you want to create something that's special and something that counts.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between like a song and a record. You know, a song could be anything, and then a record could be a record. You know,
Right.
I think Who Shot You was a song, and I think, you know, More Money, More Problems was a record. You know what I
Right.
mean? So yeah.
I got you on that. Explain to some people out there. Explain to the people, because some people will not understand what the fuck you just said. I do, but some people they get the title mixed up.
Yeah.
Beat maker, producer. What's the difference? What is the main difference between the two?
The difference is just ability and craft. So it's like if you're only making the beat, but you don't know how to combine forces with an artist in a creative way, where you guys build on something that's special, then you're not producing anything. If you're just making the beat, then you hand it over to someone who knows how to produce, and then they got it from there. You know what I mean? So, you know, a producer is far more than just making the beat. A producer is responsible for the way we hear it and the sonics and just making sure it feels a certain way when the ears listen.
Responsible for the way we hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like to ask producers, what is it for you, or is it both? Is it you actually crafting the music itself, or is it putting together the music with the artist?
I like both. Yeah, I like both. I can do both. So even, executive producers or A&R guys, they tend to want to be in the producer realm because they're responsible for the ending of how the joint came out. But for a guy to actually do it all, actually make the beat, get the artist, some producers will come to the artist with the concept. I'm a concept guy. So if you look at my instrumental catalog, you'll see that it's a lot of concepts.
Yeah.
There's 3 parts of Revenge of the Pervs, or, I got 3 parts of Chicago Jones. Those are all conceptual. Marilyn Monroe.
Yes.
Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, but I do that on purpose. I name things on purpose. So when if I title it a certain way and then you hear it, you're gonna be like, yeah, I can feel the vibe of that.
That was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
I the names that come to my mind when I make tracks, and
yes,
they're a lot of people go, what the
it's
fuck?
goddamn ridiculous.
Really, what I was thinking at that moment.
It's based on how it feels,
how
right?
I was feeling at that moment.
Facts.
Or whatever the song or the beat has said to me when I made it. A lot of people are like, they just look and go, what the fuck?
Fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yes.
Until they ask me, what's that beat? And I was like, I don't remember the name of that motherfucker, unless it's something that I know that really stood out for me. You know what I mean? I won't remember it. I tell people when they do hear something and I'm working with them and they're like, well, I really like that. You better write it down.
Yeah.
I'm not going to remember.
I'm the same way. I'm the same as that. I'm going to always have stashes that I'm going to always keep stashes that, because I always have private stashes, and then I'll have stashes that I just carry on my phone. Then I'll have stuff that I drop on DSPs, So I display the music different ways for different things. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got this part of the show we got called You Got to Chill. And it's a series of questions. Ain't no right or wrong answer. You can answer it any way you want. Opinion, facts, or whatever. But, I probably won't say anything, but my co-host tends to talk a lot of shit during this part of this segment.
No doubt.
Of the show. But it's, there's no right or wrong answer to these questions. You know what I'm saying? But, I don't know, it could be right for you, could be wrong for her, could be wrong for me. I don't know.
There's multiple choice. You can pick them all.
For sure.
You can expound or not.
Yeah.
It's your world. We just here.
No doubt.
You're just here. It's my world.
You're right. My bad. All right, ready?
Let's go.
All right, we always like to start with Heath's favorite question.
Yeah.
If you woke up and you were Drake for 24 hours, what's the first thing you would do? Now, you look like Drake.
Yeah.
You sound like Drake.
You are Drake.
You are Drake.
But you got your mind.
But you know you're you.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
They see Drake.
they look, see, and smell Drake.
Yeah. I don't know about smelling Drake, but
I'm just saying, I don't know.
yeah.
Honestly, just be self-confined. Just be inside chilling. Honestly.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah.
That's a first.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that answer or
Yeah, I mean, I say that.
like that.
The reason why I say that is because in imaginative ways, for me, thinking about how he lives his life now, it could be very extremely overwhelming. This is a guy that wakes up. This is a guy that has nightmares about certain men who literally embarrassed him, like
Right.
Pusha or Kendrick or The Weeknd. People he's actually gotten to it with his own idol, Kanye. Like it's probably not a good feeling being him, honestly, because even though you've dominated the industry, you still were beaten very badly, by some of these guys, and so. When you take those ass whoopings, man, I just think you
belt to ass.
No, I'm serious, and I love RB and everything he's contributed to the culture. But at the end of the day, he's not like us. That was the concept of that. He's not like us. Yeah. So so you're
fucked up.
No, it's the truth. So your demolish comes eventually. Like a 16-year run is incredible. But the demolishing will happen eventually. Like no one can stay on top. Even Jordan didn't stay on top. Right. Kobe had to come in and be Kobe. Me personally, I never choose LeBron. I anything close to Jordan, I'm gonna say Kobe. But anyway. I'll just be self-confined and chill and just be to myself.
Okay, so a couple things. I think that's the difference between a thinker.
Right.
Yeah.
But then also I don't know. Like, I feel like what you just did was the average person say, I'm gonna take all his money. Fuck that nigga, he a bitch. I'm gonna apologize, all that type of stuff. But like to really sit and think about what it would be like inside of that space. Like I once thought that I belonged to this group. I felt like I was one of these people. However I got there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then to know, no, nigga.
You're not.
And then be in that.
That's some heavy shit.
It's really fucked up.
No, because
no,
it's the truth.
It's diabolical.
No, it's the truth. I mean, like at the end of the day, it's all culturally impacted based on politics and like relationships. And then when you can get used up until a certain point. Once you get used, they're gonna spit you out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's spit out time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is spit out.
We watched that in real time. Like we really watched the demise in real time.
Yeah.
It really showed the cracks in his armor. Like really, really showed what he was really.
Well, you know what it is? What it is was it's opponent. Like, you'll get an opponent, but then when you get that one opponent, and he got that one, this last opponent was the one.
He had his number. They say that like in boxing.
No, this opponent was his opponent. This was a hell of an opponent.
Right.
Big
facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. But when I heard you say that, my first thought was like, well, he is doing a lot of fuck shit. He is fucking like losing his mind right now.
I wouldn't, because
how would that benefit him?
The young me will give you different answers. I'm like, oh man, I'll be really hitting three a day, 5 a day. I'll be somewhere.
It's the same question, and we get different answers.
Yeah. The me of today, I would say, I'll just be chilling.
We had one guy come in and just said, Drake, shit, I'm going in his DMs and I'm fucking everybody. Like, what?
Yeah. No, the young. If I was 25, that would be my answer.
Yeah, right.
Honestly.
Yeah,
but this is 20 years later.
And then it's like, as far as he's concerned, like his previous opponents, you got you sparring with dudes, and you're cultured in a way. You're traveled, your vocabulary is great, you're witty. But then over here, you got this guy who's a student of the game. He's well read. His experience and his perspective of the culture, and I would even say his respect for himself, the way he carried himself. That motherfucker was ready for you, and you fucked around and found out.
Well,
found out for sure.
Yeah, like I said, in boxing, you could whoop everybody's ass, but there's that one person who will have your ticket no matter how many times.
That's a super fact.
They don't give a fuck who you are and who ass you would.
No, it's not that. It's like there's always like that one person. He has your ticket.
Yeah.
And you can do whatever. You can train harder. You can do whatever, but you will not be able to defeat that person.
Because I'm still me, and I'm doing what I'm doing over here. Yeah. Come over here.
Big facts.
Come on.
Let's keep pushing that.
Yeah.
All right. I like that.
That was fucking shit. That's a setup for the rest of this shit. I don't know. All right. What came first, the poet or the rapper?
The poet.
Okay.
The poet, because the poet has a way with words, and when a rapper has a way with words.
Has to have a way with words.
Yeah.
A poet doesn't necessarily have to rhyme. He just has to have like a clear understanding of the words and what
This
his
is true.
context and what he's using.
This is true.
Yeah.
So the poet could never come after the rapper. The poet is first.
You think
I
it makes
that-
you?
Yeah, go ahead.
No.
Yeah. I think that's why, like a lot, when talking to a lot of MCs, we get that the first, before they were even a rapper, they wrote poetry. It's like, that's like probably I want to say 70-80% of the time. You know what I mean? But then also too, those are the ones that are really students of the game. They're not the ones that just woke up and like, I'm gonna rap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them out there nowadays. There's a lot of them that just woke up one morning. You ask them how long you been rapping. Oh, I don't know.
Yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? Just got my studio, and no, a studio. You having a computer in your bedroom is not a studio. But okay.
I swear.
You know what I mean? I get it.
Who's more important, the DJ or the producer?
I got faith in you. I got all the faith in the world.
The importance comes from the music. It doesn't come from who's pushing the music first. The first, because you gotta, because understand that's like a DJ spinning an empty ass record.
Bam.
Imagine a DJ just doing this and you don't hear shit.
Huh?
It starts with the
Pootie Tang style.
That's a fact. Yeah.
The fuck do I keep saying?
Yeah, that's a fact.
Every fucking time, everybody be saying, "Oh, the DJ."
That's not saying. See, but that's a good question because it's not saying. You're not saying is the DJ more. You're not saying is the DJ important.
Right.
You're saying who's more important. The DJ is very important.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But without the producer, this fucking guy been saying that shit for fucking
No, I'm not arguing with you. I'm saying he's the guest. We're asking him. You've been saying that, but it's him.
Yeah.
The DJ doesn't have shit if we don't do it and give it to him and somebody gets it in his hands. He don't have shit.
Yeah, and that's not. I'm not saying that with emotion. I'm just saying that first and foremost, it's because the music exists because of the producer.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that one alone for now.
After that, it's on the DJ. It's not on me at that point because I provided what we hear.
Yeah.
So.
Record sales or touring?
In today's music world, touring
all the time.
Because that's opportunity. Not just it's opportunity for everything from experience to opportunity to sell merch, opportunity to network, opportunity to meet people for more opportunity. So touring it has a better leverage. You know what I mean? Because of what you can get out of it.
We've never had somebody go that deep into it, but yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
This fucking guy.
Yeah.
All right.
So, well, did you guys ever think we live in a world where no one gives a shit if you're going platinum or not? Remember how important that shit used to be? They used to have posters saying you shipped platinum.
Yeah. No, I never thought it. I never thought a lot of shit. I never thought this digital shit would enter the game, and it's a more controlling way of just making you less rich. Like selling a CD is different because your physical copy is sold, so you're gonna get your $6 or your $7 or your $8, whatever you negotiate. But it's real confusing with the algorithm of digital streaming.
And you literally have everything.
Yeah, because what if we were really supposed to literally be getting $1 a stream?
Jesus.
Like when I say that, meaning what if it was really supposed to be like that, and the manipulation says no, this is what we're gonna pay you. We're gonna pay your ass 0.4 something cent.
It's 3
type shit.
It's 0.0,
and then we're gonna take the 96 cent. What if we were really supposed to, if we all knew that, it would up our egos, it would up the way we feel about putting music out. If you knew you were gonna, because this motherfucker's doing 500 streams, that's $500 in their pocket.
Right.
This motherfucker's doing 5,000 streams, 5,000, 50,000. You get what I'm saying? So if we knew we were supposed to get $1 stream, it would literally change the way we think about putting out our music.
Well, what happened, I believe, from just some of the research, what happened was there was a big scramble when the digital shit first started coming out, and record labels were really scrambling like, how in the fuck, because they were losing money hand over fist.
It's called a designed model.
Right.
When you design a model, you say, okay, this is a new model of how you're gonna put music out.
Right.
We're still gonna control what you make
Yeah.
off of it, but this is the new model.
Yeah.
And that's why they make CDs extinct like dinosaurs, because they don't have any monetary value when it comes to purchasing them. Right. We can purchase them and support an artist who still has their CD packets and booklets and shit on some nostalgia shit.
Right.
But as far as what counts in the digital world, they found a way to switch it up. So.
Yeah. Well, they had to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially with the internet and people having more power in their own hands to do shit.
Yeah.
They had to do something.
Yeah.
Because if not, they stand to lose billions of dollars.
I swear.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just another chokehold. But hopefully with people like yourself, people like us, and other people out there that shed light on it, and not only shed light on it, but refuse to be a part of that ecosystem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that part.
All right. Is it really possible to have a top 5 rappers list?
Yeah. It just depends on what era. Because if you ask me who my top 5 rappers was in the 80s, I'm going to tell you everybody from LL to Kane. If you ask me in the 90s, I'm going to say everybody from Snoop to Jay-Z. If you ask me in 2000, I'm going to say everybody from Seagull to... You get what I'm saying?
That's a first.
You can't ask me about the top 5. It's got to be era-based. It can't be all time, because that's impossible to describe.
Yeah.
Because in the 80s, I literally, Kane was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like in the 90s, Snoop was my guy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm a fucking Rakim fan, so he's...
Well, yeah, he's going to be in my 5 for the 80s.
He's in my 5 now, but I don't know about this last album he dropped. I don't know about that one.
I'm just saying, I would do it by eras.
Yeah.
If you had to ask me. It's not possible.
No,
that's not possible.
I think that's the same thing as who you're voting for, personally. I think it's very personal.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, this is true.
All right. West Coast gangster rap or East Coast?
Or East Coast gangster rap or East Coast rap?
East Coast gangster rap.
West Coast gangster rap. Yeah.
Why?
Because West Coast gangster rap is what's the originator?
Schoolie D
should be the originator. And the originator
West Coast did not originate gangster rap. They did not originate gangster rap. What the original shit was gang banging. That was gang banging rap.
Okay, true. I mean, I can agree and disagree. I agree because there were gangster songs that came out of the East Coast that were legendary.
Right.
But then the West Coast commercialized it, and I think that's where I'm speaking on. I'm speaking on successful gangster rap. So pardon me. If I had to just say successful gangster rap, I would give it to the West Coast. There were songs in the East Coast, there was a song on the East Coast that influenced 6 in the morning, and that was on the East Coast.
Schoolie D.
Yeah, I'm fully, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I just got mixed up in the question because I think commercial gangster rap, and that was the first stuff to go gold and platinum, etc. So I'm automatically on that side of the, you know what I'm saying, because of that. Now, as far as the influence, it come from the East Coast.
Yeah.
But West Coast blew it up.
And you know what? I'm going to say he's the first person ever to really answer that the right way. And I say that there's no right or wrong answer.
No, it ain't. But you had to remind me.
Yeah.
And so when I thought about it, I said, yeah. But then I thought about why West Coast blew up.
Right. Exactly.
And that's because they had what I spoke about earlier, which was the corporate machine and the backing, et cetera, the connections.
You know what I'm saying? How many times I've said those same things, and people go, no.
And those that fact package, if you will.
Yeah.
Like there's like really people don't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, because whenever you came alive in hip hop is when you came alive in hip hop.
Yeah.
And if you kind of breeze through that era, you probably never noticed that everybody always had on black.
Yeah.
And that's not really how it was.
Yeah.
And all that kind of shit.
Not in LA, it wasn't.
Right. Yeah. And it's like you kind of that visualization creates your reality.
Well, Easy was smart by being careful on promoting a color. Even though we knew he was cripping, he was careful with like putting it out there. He wanted you to focus on what they were trying to do musically and for the culture. Not I'm cripping, et cetera, et cetera. I think eventually that came out 14, 15 years later. But immediately that wasn't his thing, trying to promote Crip blood in the music,
He made
etc.
He made it look generic.
Same
so
for
it
Snoop.
had
Snoop
a
didn't start
generic
cripping
look.
until the second, third album.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
facts.
But that first album, it focused on just being centralized with colors and with the types of hats you're wearing, et cetera, et cetera. But then that second, third album, nigga,
Yeah.
big cripping, they
Big
talking
crippin'.
big cripping shit, and like throwing up gang signs and all type of shit. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See that?
I
See that?
always think that was because
No, Suge.
Nah.
I read source magazines where Snoop said, in quote unquote, Suge told him to bang that shit. Like I used to, as a kid, I used to read these articles,
Definitely.
and I remember Snoop saying that Suge had a conversation with Snoop, like, man, yeah, Snoop didn't think it was cool to but we look up and see the Gin and Juice video. He got 3 blue rags hanging,
Yeah.
and he waking up in Crip outfits, and it started to become marketable after the success.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once you're successful, now we can find a way to market the Crip shit, and then it work. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
That's a lot to unpack in itself.
Yeah,
It's a fact.
There's
That's the
gems in
72-hour
everything. So, because
conversation.
if we take this, what he just said about everything you just said, if we take that to the very beginning of what he talked about doing your homework, about fucking understanding the culture.
Yeah.
facts.
Because if you understand the culture, because a lot of people, when they sit down, or I sit down and have conversations with people, and they go, "Oh, you just think you know it all." No, motherfucker, because
No.
not only did I live it, but I live and breathe and walk in this
Yeah.
this culture.
And that concept that happened back in the 90s is alive and kicking and screaming today because
Yes,
you
it
got
is.
motherfuckers from North Dakota talking about smoking hookah and all kind of shit like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
CDs, tapes, vinyl, or streaming.
Vinyl.
I know.
Yeah, vinyl. Vinyl for me. Vinyl is it's still a nostalgic feeling. It's just I just love vinyl. I choose vinyl over anything.
Yeah.
For sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
Especially when sampling, when making it. There's something about the
Not even because of that. I like listening to stuff
me-
on. I like listening. I love sampling, obviously, but I like just listening to a record. You know what I mean?
feels different.
Certain stuff I just buy on vinyl just because I want to hear it on vinyl.
It sounds more delicious.
Yeah. Mhm.
It does.
I'm not disagreeing.
Is hip hop a culture or a lifestyle? Perhaps a philosophy.
Hip hop is a culture and a lifestyle.
Okay.
Yeah, hip hop is a culture. It's a culture because those who are involved treat it as such, and it's also a lifestyle because without hip hop lifestyle, we wouldn't be who we are. Like we know how to blend and mix up stuff, and the sneaker culture plays a part in lifestyle. So that's where that started. The hat culture, the hoodie culture, owning nostalgia of things. All of that's a lifestyle. When you start to collect vintage items and stuff, that's a lifestyle of hip hop. And then the culture is like, we're doing everything we can to keep it, a certain way. That's like culture right there.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think, with that being said, it's necessary or helpful to kind of teach the youngins how to embrace and live within the culture?
only those who want to be taught or want to learn. Like, I'm not gonna be speaking to anyone who doesn't want the information. It's just a waste of time, I said respectfully, meaning like there's people who got their own mind and they think how they want to think. Okay, cool. But those who are very intrigued or want to know about hip hop or the culture, I will do my best to educate and mentor and be a part of the hip hop journey for them. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of them out there.
Mhm.
There's a lot of them out there, and then it goes back to the gatekeeping and shit because there are people, I don't want to say any names, but our little buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say his name, but when he came to me, and he was just like, he wanted my number, and he was like, oh man, I fucks with you and this and that. He started texting me every day. He was just texting me, good morning, how you doing, and shit like that. That kind of struck me a little bit. But there was another person outside of that was like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time on this. He's a weirdo. He's this and he's that. And really, what he was doing was really wanting to absorb, you know what I'm saying, and understand and really get not his feet wet, but really understand and have some knowledge, you know what I'm saying, in hip hop and become even more engulfed in the culture and understand.
On some vulture shit or
What do you mean?
Me, yeah, like,
yeah, he didn't. No, he's definitely not wanting to be a culture vulture, but
for sure.
he wanting to understand his journey, what he could contribute. You know what I'm saying, in his way, and growth.
Mm-hmm.
Really on the growth side, and that's what really struck me with him, because when I did talk to him, first thing he said was, one of the first things, like, can you send me some beats? And I was like, nope. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to come and sit and talk to me. And after speaking with him over a couple of days, 3 or 4 hours at a time, I was like, man, I fucks with this kid. Just understanding where his mindset was, what he was really, his goal was, where he saw himself, and all of that, and that really pushed me to be like, okay, yeah, I'm fucking with that. But there's kids, there's people out there, kids too, and some adults, because they're never too old to learn, that really want to do something, or sometimes they just don't know what direction, or they have a thirst for the knowledge. I guess that's what I was saying. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Having that thirst for the knowledge is kind of a key point to it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mainstream or underground?
Underground.
Damn.
Yeah, underground for sure.
All day.
What would you rather be better at, freestyling or writing?
Writing.
That's almost like a 50-50 every time.
Yeah,
it's like,
for sure.
Most people, not most, but it's usually, it could go either way. So it's like a flip of a coin. But it's usually, if we were looking at it from the numbers, it's like 50-50. Some people come in and they're like, man, I want to, want to be better at freestyling, or I want to be a better writer. And I think, like I say this all the time, that inside every dope writer is a freestyler just dying to come out. He just don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? We want him to be that motherfucker that can just get up there and come up off the top of the head, but don't really have the skill, or don't understand it, or don't really take the time to sharpen that tool. But I think it's an important tool as far as being an MC. Yeah,
very, very important.
Yeah. Would you rather roll with a squad or be solo?
Solo.
Okay.
Fucks with that.
All right. West Coast funk or East Coast boom bap?
East Coast boom bap.
What the fuck? I'm not gonna say shit. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna marinate right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and marinate, because I ain't got shit to say today.
Papa collar.
Yeah,
East Coast boom bap for sure.
I'm excited about this one. Is it true it ain't where you from, it's where you at?
But when you say, is it true? Who said that was even the truth?
I don't know.
Is that like a statement, or like?
No.
Yeah, cause where you from taught you a lot. So I'll take where you from, cause where you from, I had to learn a lot coming up in Chicago. So I would appreciate that more than being getting somewhere, cause I could make it. To C18 was a blessing for me.
Right.
So at that point, anything after that, I have to be very mindful that, appreciate like being able to see 18. So no matter where I end up, appreciate like where I'm from, because it taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? So
fuck with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Told you I'm marinating.
Yeah.
As you should.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Is hip hop dead?
What type of hip hop?
Damn.
And that is a first.
I don't know.
Because when I say what type, it's like there's two types. And you just named it. You asked me about mainstream hip hop and underground hip hop. Underground hip hop never dies. There'll always be guys grounding. There'll always be guys doing this for the culture strictly and not politics, not holding up their album because they can't get a clearance, et cetera, et cetera. So shout out to all those guys. And then you got guys who deal with this bullshit, mainstream industry politic bullshit, which I've worked in and know that side too. So that side's dead because it's not real. Meaning like a lot of people be fake and a lot of people do fake shit. So I want to go with the real at, and I think it's more real on the underground.
Right.
So
that shit.
Okay.
I'm marinating. I told you.
All right. Viral or slow grind?
Slow grind. Slow grind.
Okay.
Why would you say slow grind? Just for people.
One word.
Right?
One word. Integrity.
Man.
Slow grind is I built it on my own. I got my own wave. I did everything on my own, from administration to the cover to the way it got out. I paid. I did it. So that's the slow grind. viral it is, I need this moment. I need everybody to have attention on me, and then I still go work at White Castle.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want that. I'd rather it be
that goes
slow
back
grind.
to like Andy Warhol saying, everybody's gonna get 15 minutes of fame in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can get that 15 minutes of fame, but what are you gonna do with it? You can turn that 15 minutes of fame into a year, 2 years, 3 years. You can turn it into a career if you have the right mindset. If you
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to tell you. Like, there's over 50 plaques in my storage, and they're not around me to look at and like be egotistical about. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't. I still got more to do and more to get. Like, so I'm not just sitting back and I look at all my plaques like,
look at me.
I made it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, none of that matters. None of that stuff matters.
Yeah. I say that a lot to people, man. Be uncomfortable being comfortable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just never know. You know what I mean? And I'm of a mindset of, you're never too old to learn. And if you call yourself a student of the game, that's what you should be, a student of the game. I'm learning new shit every day. I'm watching, like my son, for instance, he's a little savage in beats, as a producer, because he grew up in it.
I love it.
In the studio with me as a child, as a little baby, all the way up until now, and he is thirsty for knowledge. And I learn from him as well. And I learn from a lot of people that I encounter and that I deal with. And I think that's important, like extremely important.
I love it.
You want to, when you're doing this shit.
Yeah.
When you live this shit, it's important. And it's important to be uncomfortable being comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's comfortable being uncomfortable.
Whatever. Same goddamn shit. Yeah. I always say it, like, you should, like, I know people within the city that are doing things, making moves, and I see a lot of comfortability, and I see them, laxing, and I'm like, I don't know why you motherfuckers are not acting or moving like your back is against the wall. And you should be feeling like that every single fucking time you walk into the studio. Every single step you make, you should be feeling like you fighting your way up out this motherfucker. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because that's my mindset every day, and that goes back to the hustling mentality and the go get it. Like that's what sets others apart. Just within music, I've been successful in doing shit, traveling, and doing all of that kind of shit. But I was the one in the way of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got to the top of the mountain, kicked myself right back down. That motherfucker got back up, kicked myself back down. And what I've learned within all of that, now, where I'm sitting now and who I am now as a person and as a man now, it's like, shit, I ain't got time to be fucking around. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, look, man, my back is against the wall, and anybody come up within my punching range is getting punched in the fucking mouth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? As a metaphor, I'm not out there punching people, but that's, you know what I mean? Like, I say it all the time, you either with me or you in the fucking way. You know what I'm saying? And I got to move forward. And if that means you get stepped on, I don't mean like hurting people or taking or devaluing anybody, but it's like, if we are not locked in and you're not having the same mindset, bro, we cannot occupy the same space. Because if we do, you're going to get pushed out the fucking way. And I'm not trying to harm you or fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? We not there. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me. Okay.
Sorry about that little rant.
So, you equate slow grind to integrity. So let's talk about the fuck shit, right? There's a lot of people that are in pretty murky water. So we got, as I guess you could say, as lightweight as Drake, where he just kind of fumbled his own career a little bit. Then you got Diddy, that shit is just terrible. But like, do you think on all levels of that type of shit, there is a way to come back from it? Like, what do you think?
There's no coming back from powerful infrastructures. The way power is set up is it's given to you based on you earning it, and then you can fuck that up. When you fuck up your power, it's never gonna come back to you the way you once had it. Mm-hmm. So, you could have a lot, and it can be taken away from you, and then you can go and get some more, but it won't be the lot that you had. You understand what I'm saying? Right. So I say that to say, you can come back from anything, but there's levels to the comeback. Like it'll never be like it once was. You know, never in life. Like that moment you had, that was your time. But you're never coming like that ever again. Ever. You know what I'm saying?
Especially if you didn't learn anything, bro.
That's a fact.
I was thinking about that because earlier today.
That's a fact. None of our demised heroes, unless they do some exuberant crazy shit, they'll never be where they once was based on the fuck shit. You know, meaning the drama and the
levels in the fuck
turmoil. Yeah, and then once you piss the higher ups off,
they ain't fucking with you no way.
Yeah, and these are people that you'll never even see. You'll never see the people that control what you're witnessing. You'll never see them visually.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. You'll never see their face. You'll never know who they are. You'll never know. You'll hear names, but those won't be the names. It'll still be people. It'll still be people over them. Yeah. The people that you hear about, they got higher ups too. So, and those higher ups should never see ever because they so far off in life. Trust me, they don't even want to be involved with this bullshit. When anything with dramas and inserted into money and fucking up money, they don't want to be involved in this shit. So,
look at that, gems again being dropped this whole fucking show
for sure.
Let's go.
What's the one thing you won't compromise or sacrifice on your music journey?
Just again back to the word integrity. Or I would just rather not ever be in the class of dick suckers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yes. Say that.
I can respect that.
At least, like, cause you gonna have. It's literally just that way. You got two crowds. You got them niggas and you got these niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's honest, and that's in all industries. Mm-hmm. It don't matter what industry. If it's NBA, NFL, if you know, you know. You got these niggas and you got them niggas. Them niggas do that and they did that to get on or whatever, and then these niggas right here, they move, but they don't move like that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Fact.
Okay.
All Diddy on them dick suckers. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just always two sides. That's why you have Republican and Democrat.
Yep.
The two sides are based on vision and how you move, like what you represent. Do you represent, integrity, or do you represent sucking dick? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So, like,
very eloquently
you know what I mean?
put.
Like,
No, I got shit. I got you.
Yeah.
Like, do you represent that? Like, cause if you and again, there's got to be two sides because this is how we a lot of us we trying to figure out. Well, how did they get that opportunity? Or how did they get on? Or how did they get this? And how did they do? You don't have to question that. Just understand that there's ways to do it.
Yeah, and it's even levels to the sucking dick. I mean,
there's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. I mean, and success, you can still be successful and not have to put a cock in your mouth. That's a fact.
That's facts.
Yeah.
It's just you're gonna be at this level of success if you do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's all.
And
sucking dick is a choice. You say that all the time.
Sucking dick is an invested choice.
No, super facts.
Yeah,
it's
a fact. I done seen it, man. Yeah, I done seen some shit.
Doing it, but
I done seen some shit like, damn, you really did it, bro. Yeah. Damn.
Bro,
I'm being honest with y'all, bro. I got people, bro, I came up with who literally did it, bro, and I just was like, damn.
You really did
and then
it.
Like,
once
bro,
you really did it.
Now you move over to these niggas, and it's a whole new level of laws, and they're governed in different ways and shit, Now
and that's what I was trying to say.
Other orifices are now going to be up for grabs.
Perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah. Corporate don't like certain energy. This is why they try to demise a hero of ours like Dame Dash. Like, corporate doesn't like real energy. So when your energy is too real and you're too authentic, but you're brilliant and you're smart, but you're just so real. They don't like that.
No, it's disruption.
You know what I'm saying? So
they like motherfuckers to conform.
Yeah, like the whole corporate structure is about conforming. Even diversity and inclusion, the new shit they throwing around, that's created to keep a motherfucker from looking over there. Keep looking at me, because look at me. Mm-hmm. I'm inclusive.
Right.
But when you're really, like, at the surface, it's like, motherfucker, you needed a fucking department to tell you how to respect people? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
For sure. Yeah, I saw some shit. I've definitely had some quarrels with some corporate people who went and told on me, quote unquote, and all this. And I'm just like, I can't believe that works. And mind you, I'm not even a part of corporate.
Right.
It's just that I got into it with someone in corporate, and you get to see what that's like, and it's just like, yeah, y'all on some other shit. I see why y'all don't want me in the building.
That's just for the
I'm gonna
birds.
stick to street team.
Right.
That's just for the birds. Like, I'm a part of corporate America right now, and I had some shit happen the other day, and it was just like,
Yeah.
I think I'm about to do like 6 lines just so I can bring it down to not.
No, it's a fact. But like I say, you can run your own practices, and it'll teach you how to really do your own shit once you remember I was telling you about when I was meeting A&Rs and stuff. Things that teach you, like, okay, this is how y'all do. All right, let me go do my own shit.
Because I'm about to, shit about to get different.
Fact.
Yep. Okay. And part 2 of the question was, how would it help or harm your craft? And we just went through that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No dick sucking.
Facts.
What's more powerful in your hands? The tools to get where you feel you need to be artistically, or a blank check?
Oh, the tools. The tools have more value because it's like I was saying earlier, I'm down to mentor and down to teach, but that's based on skills learned and skills possessed. You know what I mean? So I would rather have the tools because the tools can go a long way. The tools have more monetary value in the long run versus signing a blank check. I mean, we got plenty of hip hop golden age artists who didn't have the proper health care, et cetera, who should be allowed today.
Facts.
But so a blank check, having a blank check shows you what that can be a gamble, with yourself. You'd rather have the tools to just be able to take care of you forever versus a signing, because a blank check can get cashed and spent up, in the
What
wrong
about having
hands.
the blank check to buy the tools?
I mean, well, unfortunately, we're in the era where you can. Like, I plan to make millions with AI. That's honest. But I'm gonna use it where I'm gonna use AI where it has nothing to do with what I'm already doing.
Right.
I'm using it in another way that I've never made money before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'd rather use it that way. So that's another way you can buy the tools, but it's just you got to be careful with how you buy the tools.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of AI, I had a conversation with somebody today, and they were asking me about AI. And I know that I've been like dibbling and dabbling with it for probably the last 3-4 years. And when I do talk to a lot of artists, they don't have a clue, and they're worried and afraid of AI. And it's like, to me, in my mind, and in my thinking, is like, okay, it's just another tool.
Yeah, it's a tool, and I call it a quote unquote speed upper.
Right, speed upper.
It speeds up process and workflow. Doesn't mean you have to. If you ask AI some shit, it doesn't mean you have to accept it all.
Right.
You can just take one thing out of what the fuck they sped, because they just basically brought you to the front of the line. Now it's up to you to decide how you want to take that and run with it. You don't have to do exactly what it says.
Right.
I tell people all the time, if you use AI, still do your thing, but understand you're still giving AI swag too. So even when you change some shit up, if they write you a paragraph and you change the whole paragraph up, now you just gave them sauce.
Right.
Because they're going to still record the sauce. Like, oh, I like that. They're going to be like, I like how you changed us. Okay, we're going to store your shit.
Right.
And now we're going to, you get what I'm saying?
Learning. It's
Yeah. It's like Alexa. When you're walking around the house all day and she's listening to you yell at your kids, she's listening to what y'all speaking about, everything. You know what I'm saying? So that way when you ask her some shit, she know what to give back to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then there's a group of artists too that are afraid of the arts being taken over, and then I tell them,
nah, it's nothing to be afraid of. No, a human can never be overridden by something digital.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That was my
People are always gonna want to interact with a human being.
Right.
I don't care what happens. Like,
Right.
The AI robot shit that's gonna be around, but that's gonna be a choice for you. Like
Right.
the cars, the Waymo cars with nobody in them and shit.
Yeah.
Like, you can either get in the car, they don't got nobody in it, or you can order you a Lyft and have a conversation, or fuck your Lyft driver, whatever. Because I be hearing stories, but you got a choice. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Okay.
All right. Fucking with this.
If your mama said she didn't like your music, what would you change, if anything? You pass me the cough drop.
If my mom said she didn't like my music, what would I change up?
If anything.
If anything.
I mean, whatever
Say,
suits.
fuck it, mama. This is what I do.
Whatever suits her ear. But fortunately, I haven't had that happen. I think a mother that supports. I think a mother would never should never be meticulous or particular in supporting. I think mothers just going think like that's my baby.
Right.
He just killed 40 niggas in that song, but that was my baby.
Right.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know.
That was dope.
Yeah.
I fucks with that.
I think I would probably do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you would do. That's my baby.
He just blew him down with the switch, baby. That's my baby.
That's how you feel?
I mean, you gotta respect the.
Nah, respect the mama isms.
Yeah, it is what it is. Is a hype man needed anymore in hip hop?
The hype man was never needed. A hype man was a hype man is an addition to the art. Like when Kane came out, I was watching the old episode of Kane when he did Showtime at the Apollo. He came on and did I'm gonna give it to you, What was the name of the joint? Smooth Operator. He came on, did Smooth Operator, killed it. He had his 3 dancers, you know what I'm saying? But he didn't have hype. He didn't have a hype man or somebody backing him up. So that right there proves that a hype man was never needed. The hype man was a hip hop addition, meaning like when it was introduced to the MC, it just gave hip hop another feel, and it was something that we love to see. Like, you know, with Spliff or with Puff coming out with Big. You know, when we start to even Dame, he came out with Hove. When we saw that, like it just we like to see it based on the marriage they had. Pause. Like as far as how that just meshed.
Right.
But it wasn't needed. LL didn't have a hype man, but I never saw KRS-One or BDP-1, but
yeah.
I say that to just say like the hype man wasn't needed. So I can't answer that question in a sense.
He just put about 8 hype men on suicide watch right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. About 8 hype men. They're right now. They're like, what you mean I was never needed? We was never needed. Yeah.
I feel like though this is the best thing about this show. You know what I'm saying? Like we say we want to push the culture forward, and like, you know, fuck, it's pushed.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh shit. In a rap battle to the death.
Yeah, this is your favorite. Go ahead. I'm gonna fall back on this.
So death means dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Unalived.
Unalive. Right. Sorry, my bad. Who wins? East Coast or West Coast?
At what era?
Sure. Okay. Let's do that.
Cause I need the era, man. Like, you know.
Well, what do you think? Yeah.
If you could pick any rapper from any era, dead or alive, for this rap battle to the unaliveness.
Head to head, who going?
The 2?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and who wins, East Coast or West Coast? Because after that, then we got to deal with the Midwest and the South.
Yep.
In a rap battle.
And it's strictly your opinion. I mean,
yeah, East Coast for me.
Okay.
Yeah, East
what
Coast.
like what era though, and
Who's battling who?
Who was battling who?
Biggie and Pac will battle. I said Biggie will beat him. Yeah, in a rap battle. I think that.
But Pac is really an East Coast guy though. At the end of it.
But
yeah, but the reason why I gotta put them up against each other is because I couldn't get West Coast wise. I couldn't give Biggie any other opponent. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I say that because now mind you, we're talking rap battle. We're not talking like go in the studio, make a song, and it makes me feel a certain way.
No. See,
because Pac will win that. Hold on. If we had to talk about what
That's
type
the
of battle
problem with this question. This shit happens every time.
because you can battle a certain way. You can battle on some. All right, nigga, let's see who gonna go in the studio and come back with a record that's gonna make the people feel it.
No, we talking about the essence.
No, but I understand that. I'm just telling you why I would choose Pac in that sense.
That shit was
I would choose.
disgusting.
Yeah, I would choose Pac over Big if it was based on
going
making
to the studio,
records.
making a record.
If they had to battle in that sense.
Right.
But on some just straight up, here's the mic,
Bar for
battle, bar for bar.
Well, then Tupac is a really poor choice for the West Coast.
Yeah. He's lyrical wise, but that's if you saying like
but vibe wise and
if you saying like if Corrupt or Raz Kass or somebody
I was
died.
gonna say Raz Kass.
Hold on, but just said if they passed away,
Mm-hmm.
because we're talking about unalive. So if a Corrupt or Raz Kass or anybody exhibit whoever died at that time Biggie died, I would have chose one of them to battle Biggie in the rap battle.
Right. Got
See
you.
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
But I can't with Biggie being unalive right around the corner from Pac's death.
Yeah.
Who do I have to put up against Biggie? And I have to choose Biggie to represent the East Coast in the '90s because in the '90s he's the one that passed away who was lyrical, who was good. He was a good storyteller. I think he had all categories down pat. Biggie was good at storytelling. He was good at wordplay. He was good at inventing words. All that stuff. So
and using like using faculty. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then
Like,
questionable rhymes. He said a lot of questionable shit. So
Yeah.
I always get into this little stupid ass argument with people when Pac is brought up because I say Pac was not a great lyricist, but what he had the capability to do, which a lot of people can't.
he was something else.
Yeah,
He was
could make
something
you
else.
feel
Make
some
you
shit.
Yeah,
feel
Pac was
some shit.
something else. I never looked at him as some lyrical ass nigga.
Yeah.
I listened to him. He just gave me something that
Yeah.
just was incredible.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like chills listening to Pac's music. Pac was different. And when you match he's a Gemini, so you match the energy. You're not even listening. The music, there's no music, and he's talking or he's acting. He's still giving you the same feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like excited to see him on TV. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
He made you feel like, you too, you.
yeah, it's a blessing to have to come up in that era. You had to be alive to just watch Pac. Like I watched one more. What I'm gonna say is one thing. I watched him do a behind the scenes of "Gotta Get Yours" with MC Bree. They did a behind the scenes. They did a behind the scenes.
I still listen to that
Now
shit.
I'm watching the behind the scenes, and he was getting interviewed, and just how he was acting, and how he was excited to just be doing a song with Bree, and he was speaking on plans, and like the man was just out of there, like the way his mind worked, and like he was important. He was important.
We don't get those very often. I think the last one was Nipsey.
Too special.
Man.
When you're special, man, you really know. You know.
Yeah. And the type of artist that no matter where you jumped on his train, it was the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Whether you started listening to Strictly for My Niggas or Machiavelli.
Yeah.
You got that.
Which all have range.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you getting Machiavelli had a lot of anger and a lot of frustration, uninhibited, unorthodox, everything.
Yep.
Picking beats you wouldn't normally hear him rap on,
Right.
doing shit that you wouldn't normally see. It just had it sounded biblical. It had these banjos and violins and shit. It just had like a lot of.
You could taste what he was feeling inside.
That was a project. That was a conceptual project. That was definitely he's constructed that to sound a certain way.
QD3 did most of the production on that.
No, he had unknown producers. He had from here, heard him bad. He from Chicago, heard him bad. He had a lot of producers that were in.
Why am I thinking QD3? I know he did.
He did a couple, but not like the whole thing.
He gets credit for a lot of that.
Yeah,
shit.
the whole thing. If you read the notes, you'll see that Pac worked with a lot of Death Row had D-Room producers.
Yeah.
Pac purposely went in there and fucked with them because he felt like they wasn't getting enough shine.
Right.
He like, I'm rapping on all y'all niggas shit.
Right.
If you notice, there's no Daz on there on the beats. There's no.
Yeah.
So he knew how to, even Johnny J ain't got one on there. Point that I'm making is he knew how to construct the sound of that project.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Gems being dropped, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where we at? We got one more?
Yeah. Okay. Well, no, we don't gotta take that question apart. It's fine. Fuck it. Why not? Okay. So you picked East Coast. Okay. So then East Coast battles Midwest.
What are you saying?
No, the East.
Let her do her thing.
The East is.
We talking battle rap. I pick Common for sure. Lupe.
Okay.
And no Twister?
Well, see, I wouldn't pick him to battle a certain rapper. Like you got to be careful with those matchups. He's not gonna sound competitive to somebody who doesn't rap in the style that he raps.
Right.
Now, if we had to pick a rapper from the East Coast to battle Twister, I couldn't name one who I would put up against him to battle. You get what I'm trying to say? Because
Jazz? No.
maybe Buster.
Maybe
I think
Buster, yeah.
yeah,
Jazz was
I think him and Buster, but Buster can rhyme boom bap.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Meaning he can get on a J Dilla beat, and then he can do, the Chris Brown joint.
Right.
Yeah, he can either flip it or he can like give you boom bap bars. So that's where his diversity was. And I've heard Twista do like boom bap stuff in his early career.
Right.
But where he conquered and mastered was the adrenaline rush style rapping.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean. He's unbeatable in that style of rap. He is the king in that.
Man,
Bottom line.
Watching him live,
Yeah.
like I was
Yeah,
a couple of feet away from him and just
that's,
watching
that's
him.
that's the guy. Like,
Shit.
16-year-old, bumping his stuff. I had a Cutlass, I had a Malibu. I used to just knock Adrenaline Rush. It was an amazing project. Yeah, it was an amazing
breath
project.
control and everything, just sitting there.
Amazing
like,
project, man.
fuck,
That was the one that changed. That was our Chicago Doggy Style. That album, that was his album that when that came out, you can tell the budget was there. You can tell like everything was right for him, and it put him. It comfortably put him in a space where he can actually create something so classic. You know what I'm saying?
I like that
Yeah,
shit.
because you create. I always say when you're comfortable when you can really create. Imagine not having to pay bills for a while and you can just strictly focus on making the best music you can and not be worried about like bills and all the stuff that normal human beings wake up every day to. And it puts you in a space where you can actually create something so good.
Right.
So I can just imagine where he was at that time when he was able to make that album and get a nice check from Atlantic to do that. You know what I'm saying? So
That's beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit.
All right. So Midwest battles the South.
That's a good one. In the South, Scarface is amazing on the raps.
Scarface. Shout out Scarface. Underrated.
Obviously, Andre. I think Andre got better in time. I think on Southern Playalistic, he was still growing into who he was. He got extremely better. Once Aquemini came out, it was like this dude's incredible.
Yeah.
But the South has a stable of MCs who could definitely go up against some Midwest rappers.
You think when they was doing Southern, that Andre wasn't confident enough to really let his prowess out, like let niggas know, like
Not right away. I think after a couple of albums, he developed after Aliens, and then once Aquemini hit, man, it was he stepped up another level, and then
Aquemini was kind of frightening.
yeah, and then he was able to explore even more by doing things that we didn't think he would do, that he ended up conquering and doing well. You know what I mean? Like, everything from fashion to the types of beats he picks and the types of music videos he provides us. He went where we never thought he'd go, and he murdered that too. So yeah.
I think Bombs Over Baghdad to me was like a point where you could see that there was going to be a shift.
Some shit
with him.
happening.
There was a big shift with him as far as creativity and where he was.
It's all growth.
Headed. Yeah,
Yeah, it's all growth. Because I wouldn't want to see these guys, wearing Kango hats and shit every time they come out.
right.
I'm like, I think, okay, that's y'all did that on that album. Okay, on this album, you're on some going through the jungle shit. All right, cool. Okay, what you got now? Okay, now you're on the fucking Aladdin carpet and shit. Like, okay, now so you grow into other shit as you get what I'm saying? So I was happy to see that. You know what I'm saying? I was happy to see that.
Okay, well, you passed that shit with flying colors.
I didn't know there was a passing score or grade.
There
Right.
wasn't, but goddamn, I felt like it was necessary to say that.
Right.
I don't know.
I ain't mad at it.
Word.
Like, yeah, man, this shit has been incredible, man. Before we dip up out of here, if there's somebody out there that still at this point doesn't know who in the fuck you are, you want to tell them where they can find your music at, where they could link up with you, and if I don't know, maybe there's an aspiring young talent out there that may want to link up or talk to you or whatever. How can they reach you?
UncleJohnMusic.com. It'll take you directly to my YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. And then I could be reached on Instagram, really. Uncle John. That's uncle.jonh. The N is before the H, the number 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And from there, you know, I'm really all over the internet. So it's not a way that you can't reach me. It's just that you'll be able to grasp what I'm doing by following those links. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is. And you already know what it is. It's been great. It's been wonderful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's been all that, I think, right? It's been cool. Is it all
been
that?
dope.
A bag of chips off the chain, all that bullshit?
Yep, got a basket of chips.
Fuck that. You already know what it is, boy. We the coldest in the motherfucking city. I keep telling you, motherfuckers. Gems are being dropped every motherfucking time. We done did it again, mama. We done did it again, goddammit. You already know what it is, boy. This is UNRAP, baby. UNRAP, baby. And we'll be back at it like crack addicts next motherfucking Friday, doing our goddamn thug thizzle. Thank you, Uncle John. You already know what it is, boy. We'd love to have you back again. It's been great. It's been a pleasure, my brother. Drop some gems on this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we'll be back at it like crack addicts next Friday at 8:30 p.m. And with that being said, people, go out and have a great time. Be safe. And if you don't like that, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.